Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Welcome to this segment of Code Gurbani's a-sabad-a-day. Our recitation for the day is Sri Rag, Mahalla Chautha. Gun Gava, Gun Vithara, Gun Boli Meri Mai. Gurmukh Sajjan Gun Kariya, Mil Sajjan Har Gun Gaye. Hire Hire Mil Bediya, Rang Chalule Nai. Mere Govinda, Gun Gava Tripat Man Hoye. Antar Pyas Har Naam Ki, Gur Tus Milava Soe Raha Ho. Man Rango Vad Bhagi Ho, Gur Tutta Kare Pasao. Gur Naam Dridaye Rang Syo, Hau Satgur Ke Bal Jao. Bin Satgur Har Naam Na Labbai, Lak Koti Karm Kamao. Bin Bhaga Satgur Na Milay, Kar Baithya Nikat Nit Paas. Antar Agyan Dukh Param Hai, Vich Parda Dur Payas. Bin Satgur Pete Kanchan Na Thiya, Manmukh Loh Buddha Bedi Paas. Satgur Bohit Har Naam Hai, Kit Bid Chadya Jaye. Satgur Ke Pane Jo Chalai, Vich Bohit Baitha Aaye. Tan Tan Vad Bhagi Nanaka, Jina Satgur Le Milaye. Now in this passage we notice a relationship between virtues, gun, and self-knowledge, naam or har naam. It's very discernible in the Rahau Pankti, which is the central reflection of this passage. Mere Govinda gun gava tripat man hoye, antar pyas har naam ki gur tus milawa soye. My protector, it's being addressed to the protector. In your glory my mind is intuitively at rest. The thirst for self-knowledge has been quenched by the enlightener, the Gur. So the two actually are indistinguishable. The highest virtue or quality is indeed the knowledge of and union with the inner self. It is the highest form of cognition in that it subsumes thought, experience, and the senses along with the intuition. And this is really what leads to what Gurbani calls sukh, centering in the self, which is divine love. The means to such a union with the indwelling self is always the Gur or the Satgur, the enlightened wisdom or the true wisdom that is seated within us. And no external method or practice can give you access to this wisdom. Bin Satgur, Har Namana Labai, Lakh Koti Karm Kamao. Lakh Koti Karm, 100,000 practices you may try. Without the touchstone of the Satgur, this alchemic process of transforming the iron-like ego to the gold of the self just cannot be made. The ego continues to sink in ignorance, even though the boat of knowledge is at hand. Bin Satgur Pete Kanchana Na Thiya, Manmukh Lo Buddha Bedi Paas. So here's the kanchan that has to be made, cannot be made without the Satgur, which is the enlightened wisdom. Now obviously the barrier, as we have said, is the ignorance of the ego. What is the nature of this ignorance? It is the fact that the ego does not know or has forgotten Vithara, its true nature. And this ignorance is painful. It creates an illusory wall of doubt that makes the self seem distant and afar. Antar agyan dukh param hai, which parda dur payas. It's a separation, a screen-like separation. So in effect what we are seeing over and again is that in Gurbani, knowledge and understanding lie at the heart of a good human life. Through self-knowledge, we overcome the ignorance of home, in that we come to terms with our true nature and come closer to our feelings and behavior. So when we thoroughly understand our emotions and behavior, what happens? We begin to act more clearly, we enhance our power, and we become more actively engaged. And the union of the self that Gurbani speaks of is the epitome of personal empowerment. However, we must take care not to confuse this personal power with haume and its pursuits, which, as we have noticed, are misguided. We need to understand what our true path is. And in parting, we should also not confuse the idea of union into believing that it is a discrete moment in time. It is not. This is an ongoing journey, and that is what Sikhi is all about. And more on this as we proceed. Until the next time, Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.